Dada Morero holds on to power. Likhona Fose murder case pushed to July. Mom accused of selling toddler returns to court in August, and a cold front looms. Johannesburg Mayor Dada Morero stays put. He has survived a motion of no confidence brought by the DA and Aljama, with 144 votes against it and 75 in favor. Actionist A abstained. Morero was one of the three officials targeted, alongside Chief Whip Sithembiso Zungu and Speaker Nobuhle Mthembu.
Zungu is safe, but the Speaker has been booted out.
Look, Bule, this is politics. And it's so unfortunate that we are not putting the residents first. And I'd like to remind everyone, as much as you can blame the African National Congress, let's not forget the Democratic Alliance, because they are the ones that sponsored this whole motion in the effort to bring back Thapelo or Kabelo Kwamanda as the executive mayor of the city of Johannesburg. So that's what they wanted. They sponsored the motions. So when it comes to politicians and politics, yes, there will be disagreements, but we must always remind the residents why the city today does not have a speaker, meaning there's reports that are going to affect them, that affect service delivery, that won't be tabled because council cannot continue, because the Democratic Alliance wants to play cheap politics in order to fill Helen Zinda as the suitable candidate for 2026-2027, at the expense of who? The residents of the city of Johannesburg.
The man accused of murdering 14-year-old Likhona Fose will return to court on 2 July. This comes as the matter was postponed in the Roodepoort Magistrate Court. The murder accused, Mduduzi Mnisi, claims his arrest is part of a personal vendetta. The 39-year-old faces multiple charges, including premeditated murder. He says the investigating officer was pursuing a personal relationship with his girlfriend. The girlfriend was due to testify but did not appear in court.
We didn't hear much in court today with that postponement because, as you said, we were expecting the partner of Mduduzi Mnisi to be a witness today and to be in the witness box, but that did not happen. We had heard, because she didn't show up during the court time, but when they were looking for her, they had heard, the court that is, that she had been led into court this morning, but when the matter was called up, she wasn't around. They had an adjournment to try and find out where she was for quite a while, but they weren't able to find her court staff, that is, and so the matter was then postponed to the 2nd of July. Shortly after that postponement, she did in fact show up, or they did locate her, but that was after the defense had said that there is new evidence that they are wanting to present, and so they need time for that, and so the matter was then postponed to the 2nd of July. The reason, as you mentioned earlier, why Pinky was sought was because during his testimony yesterday, Mduduzi Mnisi did mention that the investigating officer, Sergeant Simosa, is pursuing his girlfriend, saying that Sergeant Simosa did initiate this contact with his girlfriend, talking about let's meet up somewhere. I'll confirm the date and the location for this meet up to happen. And that they even got into a disagreement, Mduduzi and his girlfriend, about this, where he said to her, if he wants to have you as his partner, obviously, then he'll make sure that I am arrested. He did also say that on the 31st of May, he was in Davidson with friends, and that on that evening that he was with his girlfriend. And so Pinky was then called to speak to some of this information. You know, the police presence here today, we've been talking about it over the past few weeks, hasn't been as much as we have seen yesterday and even the weeks before that. They have just opened up. They did cordon off the area, but they have just opened up now. We spoke to the family about that as well and what that means for them. But they are saying that even though there are no people here, because people would have their own things to do, but that they still welcome the support, but that they just want the truth ultimately. The family did comment on some of what we heard yesterday as well. And they are basically saying that we just want the truth. Whoever did this, we want the truth. And also saying that they don't believe that Mduduzi is in the dock for this for now, but that whoever is in the dock could not have acted alone, because there's no way that you could have restrained one person on your own, cutting off certain body parts and all of that. But ultimately, nothing happened today, generally. This has been postponed to the 2nd of July for that witness testimony.
The case of Kutlwano Shalaba, accused of selling her 2-year-old son for $75,000, has been postponed to 6 August. Shalaba's co-accused, a Sangoma, has abandoned his bail. The two face charges of human trafficking and murder. Police are still awaiting DNA and post-mortem results.
I would say excited that he realized the need, because it is by himself directly to say that he's withdrawing bail application. I think for us it's a win, because we were here also to make sure that he doesn't get bail. It is completely unacceptable, but we also appreciate the process that he, from the beginning, he had admitted guilt. So it is leading to a good direction, which is good, but very hurting that Kinelo hasn't even spoken yet. And we want to hear from the mother. As women, it's very sad. A woman can't just keep quiet when she knows that she was involved. She needs to say. Hopefully, as the case continues, she will at some point raise what is in her heart.
I mean, very disturbing details that have come out so far. We understand that Ginewe allegedly sold her child, allegedly had her child killed because it wasn't a boy, but it was a girl. What do you think this says about our society as a whole?
I wouldn't want to entertain the issue of a boy and a girl, because from the beginning, even the community around where we stay, we know that it was a boy. But if it becomes something else, somebody must tell the truth. Herself, Kinelo, as a mother, it must come from her clear conscience that it was a boy or a girl. And it must, for the reason that she's keeping quiet, it means she's playing games here. And it's unacceptable. It can never be accommodated. As pertaining to the witch doctor or whatever, this guy who is involved, he also must say, how did they come to a point of agreeing to the transaction payment, and what kind of a child was needed if it was ever a request.
The National Disaster Management Center has urged municipalities to clear drainage system as a cold front moves across the country. The gale force winds and flooding are expected in the Eastern Cape. The province is still reeling from floods that have rocked the area of Mthatha and claimed the lives of more than 100 people, including pupils. Parts of the Northern Cape and Western Cape brace for severe weather. Cape Town is already witnessing wet conditions.
It is a cold, wet and windy day in Cape Town. Well, across the Western Cape, we're hearing reports of flooding in areas like Khayelitsha and Macassar. We also heard earlier that Chapman's Peak has been closed as a precautionary measure. We're here at the Kalk Bay Harbour, which looks quite pretty, quite picturesque. And normally we will find fishermen in this area selling their fish, but they were not able to go out today. And the NSRI has also warned the maritime community to exercise caution and try to avoid going out, especially the fishermen, people wanting to go swimming, those wanting to go walking along the shoreline, to be very, very careful because of the wind and because of that level 4 for waves. We've heard that they're expecting waves of between 4 and up to 7.5 meters high.